والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد. Bismillah. Let's continue. Inshallah, we're going to take the remaining part of Surah Al-Ankabut, and then inshallah the plan is to take Surah Rum, Luqman, and Surah Al-Sajda. So quite a few surahs to take today. And then I want to spend some time on Surah Al-Ahzab tomorrow, inshallah. And then that will conclude the fourth group of surahs. So recap, we are in the fourth group of surahs now. The fourth group of surahs, the central theme is the evidences and proofs for the Risala of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and how to manage and how to respond to any questions, allegations, etc. regarding the Risala of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as well as the expectations from the believers in the Risala, the messengerhood of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. So this is the fourth group of surahs. We have already looked at the surah starting from Furqan, then Shu'ara, An-Naml, Qasas, and now Ankabut. Inshallah, we're going to continue. So we started to look at Surah Al-Ankabut yesterday, and I mentioned that you could very easily think of this as a surah that talks about tests and trials and tribulations, because this is the main theme of this surah. And we took some ayat in the beginning which remind the believers, and they reassure them that they will definitely be tested, because this life is for testing. This is the whole purpose of our creation. So let's share the screen with you now, inshallah. So the screen is shared. You can see my screen now, yeah? Can't see my screen. No? No, okay. Let's see. Just a minute. Now? See my screen? Yes, okay. So, Surah Al-Ankabut, as you mentioned, this is the surah of trials and tribulation and tests. Now, I have come across it. Wallahu alam, yeah, wallahu alam. Seems like, yeah, seems like. In Surah Al-Ankabut, Ankabut. And then the three surahs after that, Surah Rum, then Surah Luqman, and then Surah Sajda. It seems like, I'm saying it seems like, yeah, because there can be many things that can come to mind when we study, that these ayat, and you should make a note of these as I'm doing it, these ayat, and there may be more, these are referring to the fitrah. They highlight the fitrah. Yeah. It seems like, wallahu alam, yeah, it seems like these surahs, especially Rum, Luqman, and Sajda, they are appealing to the fitrah by showing people signs in themselves, history, creation around them and the favors of Allah and His majesty and His greatness, as if to awaken the fitrah. Yes, as if to awaken the fitrah. Yes, and to keep the fitrah alive and healthy. Salim, fitrah, which is salim, healthy, wholesome, complete, good, not defected. Yeah, and once the fitrah is salim, as we saw in Surah Nur, then the message, please understand what I'm saying, yeah? Listen attentively, think about what I'm saying. Once the fitrah is clean and pure, as we mentioned in Surah Nur, if the fitrah, the lamp, yeah, the lamp of Iman, and it is ignited by the olive, yeah, which we said, which is the fitrah. The fitrah in the heart of the believer, which is the zujaja, which is in a niche, if you remember. If this fitrah is clean and pure, then when the messenger comes, when any message from Allah comes, it will easily be able to recognize it. Yes? Okay? So it seems like, Wallahu alam, yeah? It seems like these surahs are reminding the audience of the fitrah. So in Surah Rum, Fitratullahi allati fatara an-nasa alayha, la tabdila li khalqillah. And then the very famous ayat that talk about people when they are in a storm, they call to Allah alone, fada'ullaha mukhlisina lahuddin. And then in Surah Luqman, we find that a person by the name of Luqman, who the Arabs also acknowledged to be a righteous, hakim, wise person, Allah Ta'ala is saying this person, based on his fitrah, he came to the conclusion and he came to some teachings that he taught his son, which are exactly the same as this messenger is saying. You following what I'm saying? Yeah? And then in Surah Sajda, we find that Allah Ta'ala mentions your fitrah demands justice. So how can you say that the mu'min and the fasiq, they would end up in the same, meaning there must be a hereafter. You see that, yeah? Okay, I hope that's clear, inshallah. So this is one angle that I studied when I was studying the surahs yesterday and today. This is what struck me, wallahu alam. There can be many others, yeah, things that there can be many dimensions. So let's just study this with this in mind for today. So Surah Al-Ankabut, let's take the rest of it. The central theme of Surah Al-Ankabut, and Ankabut means spider. The people of Tawheed have to pass through trials and tests to the extent that they may even have to migrate to Hijrah. So, the surah, we took the first, I think at 11 ayat approximately. And ayat 12 and 13 talk about the leadership who would have to carry the burdens of the sins of their followers. And then Nuh and Ibrahim have been mentioned as they were also messengers who went through difficulty and trials. But what happened in the end? Allah Ta'ala, He destroyed their enemies and He gave them victory over them. So this phenomenon Allah Ta'ala mentions in the Surah Al-Ankabut, ayah 40. فَكُلًّا أَخَذْنَا بِذَنْبِهِ. So all of these messengers, they came to their people, and when they disbelieved in them, Allah Ta'ala says, all of them, we seized them because of their sin. فَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ أَرْسَلْنَا عَلَيْهِ حَاصِبًا, some with the storm of stones. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ أَخَذَتْهُ الصَّيْحَةُ, some we sent a blast. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ خَسَفْنَا بِهِ الْأَرْضِ, some we caused the earth to swallow. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ أَغْرَقْنَا, and some we drowned. وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيَظْلِمَهُمْ وَلَكِنْ كَانُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ يَظْلِمُونَ. They were wrongdoers to themselves, that is why they ended up in this. And then Allah Ta'ala mentions your battle is against very feeble batil. The batil that you are against is very feeble, and it is just like the house of the Ankabut. مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ اتَّخَذُوا مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ أَوْلِيَاءَ, the example of those who take other than Allah as their helpers is like the example of the Ankabut, is like the spider that builds a house. وَإِنَّ أَوْهَنَ الْبُيُوتِ لَبَيْتُ الْأَنْكَبُوتِ, and it is the weakest because it cannot save you from the rain, it cannot save you from cold, it cannot save you from heat. It is the weakest. لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ, and it cannot save you from the sun, only if they knew. Allah Ta'ala is saying that this is your opponent, this is how weak your opponents are. And the surah is telling the believers in this time of your difficulty that you are facing against the Quraysh, as you remember from yesterday, the context of the surah of Revelation. Allah Ta'ala is saying to the believers, this is how you will remain steadfast. أُتْلُوا مَا أُوحِيَ إِلَيْكَ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ. Do the tilawa. Tilawa means to recite and follow. Tilawa doesn't just mean to read, yeah? This is unfortunately, we think as Muslims, tilawat is just to read and not know what we read. This is big deception from shaitan. Yatluna haqqa tilawatihi, Allah mentioned the people who fulfill the rights of the tilawa of the Quran. The tilawa of the Quran is to understand it with the intention to act upon it and with the intention to seek guidance to guide others through it. This is tilawa. Tilawat is not just reading it and not knowing what we read. Yes, Allah Ta'ala sent this Quran for guidance, not just for ritual reading. No, He didn't. This is to dishonor the Quran. To think it's just for reading, ritual reading. This is the dishonoring of the Quran. So, do the tilawah of Quran and wa'aqimis salat, and then pray. And nowadays, alhamdulillah, we are combining the two in Ramadan when we pray. Taraweeh, we are praying and we are reading Quran, alhamdulillah. So this is a big blessing. Inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. This salah will keep your fitra salim, and it will keep you away from all types of obscenity, indecency, shamelessness, lewdness, and wal munkar, and all evil. Now linguistically, munkar, in the Arabic language, munkar is from nakira. Nakira is something that is not known. Yes? Meaning that which you naturally do not like is munkar. Okay? In the language. And ma'ruf is that which your fitra likes naturally. So munkar is that which Allah Ta'ala then He guides our fitra to, that this is bad for you, and ma'ruf is that which Allah guides to that now in more detail through the Sharia and the revelation that this is good for you. So salah, the outcome of salah should be to be away from this any indecency and all types of evil, because the heart would be clean. and it will reflect the wahi. The wahi, yeah, understand this. I forgot to mention this last time. You know that imagine the heart. Imagine the heart is a mirror, yeah. And you show this heart, the mirror, the revelation. Okay. The cleaner the mirror, the cleaner the reflection. Yes, clear. The cleaner the mirror, the clearer the reflection. The more complete the reflection. But if you have a mirror that has got spots on it, or has got some blotches on it, or is broken or shattered from some parts, then those parts will be deprived from the ability to reflect. Yes, is that clear? Okay. So, in a way, if we take care of the heart, and salah is one of the ways, because this is zikrullah, as the Prophet ﷺ, he said in the famous hadith, that the hearts become rusty. The hearts become rusty. So the Sahaba, they asked, what is the way to get rid of this rust? Yeah, how do you get rid of this rust? So the Prophet ﷺ said, Dhikrul Maut, yeah, wa tilawatul Quran. Remember death and do the tilawa of Quran. Tilawa is not just to read, yeah, please understand me. It's not just reading without knowing what you read, why you read it. No, this is not tilawa. So once the heart is as clean as it can be, then it will reflect easily the revelation. It will accept the revelation easily. It will become just natural for the person to follow Allah's Sharia without any obstacle. You see this? You hear people say that I don't wear hijab or I don't pray, but my heart is clean. You heard this? Yeah, especially in our cultures. People will do everything that they want and they will say, but my heart is clean. No, your heart is not clean, because this is the proof. We're not saying that this person specifically, his or her heart is not clean, but we're saying heart, the cleanliness of the heart is known by the actions and the obedience of Allah and the following of the Sharia and the following of the Sunnah. So I hope that's clear, inshallah. Yeah? وَلَذِكْرُ اللَّهِ أَكْبَرُ. And remember that the remembrance of Allah is the greatest thing. The whole objective of a salah is dhikrullah. Aqimis salata li dhikri. And وَلَذِكْرُ اللَّهِ akbar also means in the tafsir that when you remember Allah, Allah remembers you, and His remembrance of you is better and greater than your remembrance of Him, because He remembers you in a gathering better than the gathering you are in. And Allah, He knows exactly what you are doing. So some guidance to the believers on remaining steadfast. Then in ayah 56, Allah Ta'ala, He is telling the believers that if you are finding it difficult in Makkah, then remember the whole earth is my domain. Inna ardi. Inna ardi. Allah Ta'ala saying, Ya ibadi alladhina amanu, O my servants who have believed, Inna ardi wasi'ah. Indeed, my earth. Who is the landlord of the earth? Allah. Allah, He owns the earth. Lillahi mulku samawati wal ard. Nobody owns anything. No nation can state or can claim sovereignty over any geographical location. This is shirk. To say that we are the sovereign. You know, many countries, they say this, the sovereign. Did you find that day I asked you to look on the pound note, sovereignty and stuff, sovereign? Thank you for your help. So, Allah Ta'ala is saying, my earth is very vast. Do not limit yourself to one place, because your life's whole objective is فَإِيَّايَ فَأْبُدُونَ, is my ibadah. Yes, so now you do hijrah. This is an indication that you will be able to do hijrah to Habasha soon. Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut, because you have to die and you have to turn back to me. And those people who believe and did good deeds, Allah Ta'ala is saying He will definitely prepare for them in Jannah ghurafan. Ghurafan are the high chambers under which rivers will flow. They will remain in there forever. This is the best reward for people who work hard and who are patient and steadfast against all challenges, and they rely on Allah. Then the surah moves on to talk about the hereafter, that the hereafter and this life, look at the comparison. وَمَا هَذِهِ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا لَحْوٌ وَلَعِبٌ. This life is just lahw, distraction, and play, entertainment. And this is what, unfortunately, the whole globe is immersed in. Distraction through sport and entertainment. This is what people live for. وَإِنَّ الدَّارَ الْآخِرَةَ لَهِيَ الْحَيَوَانِ. But the hereafter, the house in the hereafter, is for the people who are really alive. Yeah, really alive in this life. Only if they knew. And then ayah 65 talks about the fitrah. From 65 to 69. فَإِذَا رَكِبُوا فِي الْفُلْكِ دَعْوُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ فَلَمَّا نَجَّاهُمْ إِلَى الْبَرِّ إِذَا هُمْ يُشْرِكُونَ. Whenever they board a ship and they find themselves in trouble, they will sincerely ask Allah Ta'ala, and they will make all their deen, meaning they will commit everything to Allah. But when they are saved, they start to associate partners with Him again, and they do kufr. They are ungrateful for what Allah has given them, so now they can now enjoy that for a small time, but they will know. And then Allah Ta'ala is saying to the Quraysh again, did you not see that we made Makkah a safe sanctuary? Yes, for you. Because if you remember, previous surah we mentioned, one of their excuses was that if we believe in your deen, if we follow your guidance, what will happen to us? We will be snatched. Natakhattafu in that surah. Here, yatakhattafu. Same word. Yeah? Allah Ta'ala is saying, no, we have made this safety for you, but you believe in the batil and you are ungrateful to Allah. This is your problem, and this is the greatest zulm. وَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنِ افْتَرَى عَلَى اللَّهِ الْكَذِبَ أَوْ كَذَّبَ بِالْحَقِّ لَمَّا جَاءَهُ. What is greater an injustice, or who are more unjust than the people who lie against Allah? Meaning that they don't appreciate that this is the message, this is the messenger, and when it comes to them, they deny it. These people would be in the Jahannam. And the people who would keep striving, this is very important ayah, the last ayah of this surah. People who keep striving, struggling for guidance, Allah Ta'ala, He guides them. Yeah? If you seek guidance, Allah will guide. وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا. The people who strive in our cause for guidance, لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ. لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ means Allah says, we will surely, definitely, guaranteed that we will guide you to our ways, our paths. In all aspects of your life, we will guide you. You know, some people, they say, oh, I don't know who to go to ask, because this sheikh says this sheikh says that sheikh says this. These are all excuses, to be frank, yeah? All excuses, not to actually do anything and find out. Allah Ta'ala here is saying, if you want guidance, it is there. You have to make a bit of effort, and Allah, He will guide you. وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَعَلْ مُحْسِنِينَ. Allah, indeed, He is with the people who do good. Allahumma rabba ja'alna minhum. May Allah make us from people who strive hard for Allah Ta'ala to seek His guidance. To seek His guidance. This is why the Quran was sent, to give us this guidance. Okay, moving on to Surah Rum. Surah Ar-Rum. There are a few proofs in this surah One is the proof of the Risala of the Prophet ﷺ, due to the fact that he foretold, the Quran has foretold of a coming event, yes, when it was completely unlikely that it would happen. So this is essentially, as the surah mentions, غُلِبَتِ الرُّوم, the Byzantines or the Romans had been defeated by the Persians, yes, and Allah Ta'ala, He's saying that they would, within 9 years, they would be victorious over the Persians. Now this was unimaginable, yeah, this was like, are you crazy to even think that? But this happened. Within 9 years, the Persians were then defeated by the Romans again. And at the same time, as Allah mentions in this ayah number 4, لِلَّهِ الْأَمْرُ مِنْ قَبْلُ مِنْ بَعْدِ وَيَوْمَئِذٍ يَفْرَحُ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ, and the same day will be the day where the believers will be happy and rejoicing, because this will also be at the same time whilst the Romans are victorious over the Persians. Allah Ta'ala will give the Muslims the victory of which battle? Badr. They will coincide, yeah? And this is what happened, binasrillah, and this is because of Allah Ta'ala's help. Yansuru man yasha, He helps and gives victory to whom He wills. He is Al-Aziz, He is irresistible, and He is forgiving. So this is one proof in this surah of the coming of the proof of the Risala of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that he foretold this and it happened as it was predicted within 9 years, which was unimaginable. And Allah Ta'ala says, وَعْدَ اللَّهِ لَا يُخْلِفُ اللَّهُ وَحْدَهُ. Allah Ta'ala never goes against His promise. Yes, He has promised victory, He will give victory. But most people, they do not think, because, and the problem that Allah has highlighted in this surah is this. يَعْلَمُونَ ظَاهِرًا مِنَ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. They know the apparent of this life, and when وَهُمْ عَنِ الْآخِرَةِ, and when it comes to the hereafter, they are غَافِلُونَ. Ghafil, heedless, careless, don't care, oblivious to it, whatever, don't care, so what? This is ghafil, yeah? Ghafil. May Allah Ta'ala protect us from being ghafil. So in response to this now, their denial of the hereafter, liqa, meeting Allah, He has given so many signs in this surah now. Historic signs are coming for the akhirah, proofs of the akhirah in creation, ayat from creation, the fitrah. All of these are signs, yes, it seems like, to remind them of their fitrah and to activate their fitrah to realize there is justice. And there are signs to see justice around us. Okay? So let's look at some of the signs, historic signs of the akhirah in ayah 9. Allah Ta'ala says, أَوَلَمْ يَسِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ فَيَنْظُرُوا كَيْفَ كَانَ عَاقِبَةُ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. Did they not go and look around on the earth to see what happened to people before them? كَانُوا أَشَدَّ مِنْهُمْ قُوَّةً. They were stronger than them, mightier than them. وَأَثَارُوا الْأَرْضَ. And they left behind them, they left behind them their remnants, and they constructed things, yeah, huge buildings. وَجَاءَتْهُمْ رُسُلُهُمْ بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ. But then when the messengers came to them with clear signs, فَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيَظْلِمَهُمْ وَلَكِنْ كَانُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ يَظْلِمُونَ. They were not wronged by Allah, but they wronged themselves. They caused their own destruction by disbelieving in the messengers. So this is a sign from the history. Some more proofs of the akhirah given in ayat 17 to 19. فَسُبْحَانَ اللَّهِ هِينَ تُمْسُونَ وَحِينَ تُصْبِحُونَ. Allah Ta'ala is saying, exalted is Allah when you reach the evening and when you reach the morning, meaning this cycle of life every day and night. وَلَهُ الْحَمْدُ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. And all praise and thanks is for Him in the heavens and the earth. وَأَشِيًّا. And in the night, وَحِينَ تُظْهِرُونَ, and in the afternoon, يُخْرِجُ الْحَيَّ مِنَ الْمَيِّتِ. This creator who is creating the day and the night, he is the one who creates. He takes out the living from the dead, and he takes out from the dead living. وَيُحْيِي الْأَرْضَ بَعْدَ مَوْتِهَا, and he gives life to the dead earth after it dies. And then he says, وَكَذَلِكَ تُخْرَجُونَ. This is how he will take you out of the dead earth alive. So the ayat in our surroundings of the earth dying and then coming back to life in the right season is a sign that Allah, He is creating this every day. He will recreate you. He will take you out after your death. And then there is a lengthy section on وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ. Many signs are given here, and we'll take these 20 to 27. So ayat, to, as I mentioned, to wake up the fitrah, yeah, and to think and to ponder and to conclude. وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَكُم مِّن تُرَابٍ ثُمَّ إِذَا أَنْتُمْ بَشَرٌ تَنْتَشِرُونَ. He created you from dust initially, and then created many women from you. وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا. And He created for you your partners, your mates, your husband and wife for each other. لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا, to find sukoon, peace, tranquility with each other. وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. And He has put in you affection and mercy for each other. SubhanAllah. This is Allah Ta'ala's blessing, and this is a sign of Allah Ta'ala's power, that He has put these emotions inside us. Inna fi dhalika la ayat. These are signs for people who think. And then another sign, another reminder. وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ خَلْقُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. The creation of everything. وَاخْتِلَافُ أَلْسِنَتِكُمْ وَأَلْوَانِكُمْ. Look how you are different in your tongues, in your languages, and in your colors. There is beautiful diversity in life. SubhanAllah. So many languages. So many languages. SubhanAllah. Yani, the fact that, I mean, just think about this, yeah? The fact that we can speak, and we learn to speak from a very young age without any education, we just pick it up. This is an amazing miracle. Yeah? This ability to understand speech and to look at the babies when they are old enough, infants, 1 year, they start to read your face, they start to understand. How do they understand what you're saying? Who taught them all that? How do they know the meaning of words? SubhanAllah. Eh? Allahu Akbar. This is a sign from Allah Ta'ala. And you are all different in your colors. There are signs for people who have knowledge. And then وَمِنْ آيَاتِ مَنَامُكُمْ بِاللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ. The fact that you sleep by night, and then وَالنَّهَارِ, it is mahzuf, that you are awake in the day. وَابْتِغَاءُكُمْ مِنْ فَضْلِ, and you seek your provision. There are signs in this if you listen. And then ayat, signs in the fact that the lightning causes fear and aspiration. Yeah, when the lightning comes, for some people it is fear. Yeah, that, for example, this would destroy something for me. But for the others, it is a hope that, oh, it will rain and my crop would be wholesome because of the rain. So Allah Ta'ala is saying now, there is hope and there is fear in Allah Ta'ala's creation, meaning there is reward and there is punishment. Yes, there is reward and there is punishment. وَيُنَزِّلُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً فَيُحْيِي بِهِ الْأَرْضَ بَعْدَ مَوْتِهَا. And this water brings this dead life, this dead earth back to life. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَةٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَعْقِلُونَ. People who use their hearts, the aql of the heart. And another sign, أَن تَقُومَ السَّمَاءُ وَالْأَرْضُ بِأَمْرِهِ. The heavens and the earth are in place by Allah's command. ثُمَّ إِذَا دَعَاكُمْ دَعْوَةً مِنَ الْأَرْضِ. And then when He calls you with a single call from the earth, you will come out from it. Yes. وَلَهُ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Everyone in the heaven and the earth will come to His beckoning, to His call. كُلٌّ لَهُ قَانِتُونَ. Everybody will surrender to Allah. And the ayat, they carry on until this next ayah. Okay, moving on. Let's look at this 29 to 30. Yes. They are not following your instructions or your guidance because they follow their desires without any knowledge, meaning no guidance from Allah. And so then who can guide one whom Allah has sent astray? Nobody. They will have no helper. So you should turn your face towards the upright deen of Allah. The fitrat of Allah that He created, the fitra of man, yes, that man is upon. La tabdila li khalqillah. Nothing changes the khalq of Allah. The fitra remains. ذَلِكَ الدِّينُ الْقَيِّمُ. This is the upright deen. وَلَكِنْ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Most people don't know. So this fitra, Allah has mentioned here that this is the creation of Allah and it does not change. The fitra will not change. The man will not change the nature. Although shaitan, he is trying his best to change and to pollute and to destroy and to corrupt the fitra. That's the battle, to keep the fitra intact. That's why these ayat are being mentioned to people, to keep them on the straight path. And then moving on, ayah 41 mentions that when people do not follow the fitrah in light of Allah's guidance, then you see fasad. ظهر الفساد في البر والبحر بما كسبت أيدي الناس ليذيقهم بعض الذي عملوا لعلهم يرجعون. Allah Ta'ala mentioned that fasad, corruption, appears on land because of what you have done, O mankind. Yes? So next time in your dawah conversation, when somebody asks you, why does God allow this or that bad thing to happen? This is your answer. Okay? Yes? Simple. Allah gave this earth. Allah gave you this earth and He gave you the manual, yes, the user manual on how to maintain this earth and its balance. When we think we are more clever than Allah and we say, no, we know how to maintain the earth, we are more clever. Yeah, we will do it through democratic and liberal means, then you pay the price because you are not fully aware of anything. You have still no idea of what this coronavirus is. Still, you don't know anything. Okay. So Allah Ta'ala is saying this fasad that happens on the earth, this imbalance, is because of what you have done. Oh man, don't blame Allah. You caused it. Poverty on this globe, we caused it as a human race, not Allah. Allah has given us enough resources on this earth. If we use the simple principle of, if we use what we need and we distribute what we don't need, there will be more than enough for everybody. But we have greed. You want to blame Allah for this. You see this? Okay? So be confident in your dawah conversation, yeah? Be 100% concrete. لِيُذِيقَهُمْ بَعْدَ الَّذِي عَمِلُوا. And this is only a part of what you have caused. The corruption that you actually experience is only a part of what you should have experienced. And why Allah Ta'ala allows this is a mercy from Him, yeah? لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْجِعُونَ. So you may turn back to Allah. How many people, only Allah knows, as a result of this coronavirus thing, they will turn to Allah, turn back to Him. Yeah? And many would become even more staunch against Allah. Yes? Even more staunchly against Him, although they don't believe in Him even. So Allah Ta'ala is saying, fasad is your own doing. Don't blame Allah for it. And then the last section we take very briefly from ayah 55. In fact, we'll skip that. That's the last ayah because of time. Allah Ta'ala then telling the believers, fasbir, remain steadfast. Inna wa'dallahi haqq. Indeed, Allah's promise is true. وَلَا يَسْتَخِفَنَّكَ الَّذِينَ لَا يُوقِنُونَ. This is very key word. La يَسْتَخِفَنَّكَ. This is very key word. Do not let these people who have no certainty, Aisha. What's the key word? Good. يَسْتَخِفَنَّكَ is from, which root is it? Khafifun. Khafifun means light, yeah? Do not let the people who have no certainty of any type in belief, yeah? They have no certainty. You know, all the modern people, progressive people, liberal people, they have no certainty in anything. Nothing. That everything is relative. You see, do not let those people underestimate you. Don't allow them to think that you are lightweight in front of them. This is what this means. Because they have no yaqeen. Absolutely, they are walking on air. Nothing. You have the haqq, concrete proof. So don't let them underestimate you. Okay, moving on to Surah Luqman. Surah Luqman, the person Luqman, what we can say is a wise person, that Allah Ta'ala, He is pleased with him, that's why He is mentioning him in the Quran. And his teaching was exactly the teaching of all the messengers. Okay, in this surah then, Luqman, Quran, Quraysh also, I mentioned this earlier in the beginning today, the Quraysh also looked up to Luqman. Yeah? So Allah Ta'ala is saying, look at Luqman's teaching, it is exactly what the messenger's teaching is. Yeah? So now, what do you think? Do you understand? Yeah? Sometimes in dawah, you have to come to a place where the person agrees with everything, but you use the terms that the person understands, not your terms. Okay? And then when you explain that whatever you have agreed to, this is exactly what the Quran is saying, yes, then the person would think that, oh, really? Okay? Wouldn't feel alien. Anyway, so two key terms in this surah, one is hikmah and one is shukr. Hikmah and shukr. Hikmah comes from hakam, which means something that is steadfast, certain, well-grounded. So if a person's fitrah is pure, the person would have shukr. Okay, follow me, yeah? If the fitrah is pure, then the person would appreciate and be grateful for everything, yes? If the person is grateful, Allah Ta'ala will grant him hikmah, steadfastness. Okay? Okay. Let's look at this first 9 ayat. Only thing I will mention there, although in my notes I need to take all of it, but no time. There is something called lahw al-hadith. Lahw al-hadith. That speech that distracts you from your main goal in life. It's called lahw al-hadith, yeah? And the tafasir mentioned that one of those lahw al-hadith is music and singing, okay? Anyway, moving on, let's take Luqman's advice to his son. Let's take this beautiful section. We will read it all, inshallah. Amazing section. From ayat 12 onwards. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا لُقْمَانَ الْحِكْمَةَ أَنِ اشْكُرْ لِلَّهِ. Allah Ta'ala is saying that we gave Luqman the hikmah that he be grateful to Allah, because whoever is grateful, then the person is grateful to his own benefit, and whoever is ungrateful, then Allah is not in need of that person's gratitude, but the person misses out. And وَإِذْ قَالَ لُقْمَانُ لِإِبْنِهِ. So Luqman is giving his son advice. Ya bunayya la tushrik billah. Number one, you have to make a note of this. Yeah? Number one, he said, don't commit shirk. Why? Inna shirka la dhulmun adhim. Because this is the greatest sin. Yes? Dhulm, the word dhulm. It means wada'u shay min ghayri muhalliha. Wada'u shay min ghayri muhalliha. It means to place something in other than its rightful place. To place something other than its rightful place. For example, you have a bookshelf, yeah? And it's in alphabetical order. And you put the Z book, it starts with Z, you put it in the A section. So this is zulm. You misplace things. The cap should come on the head, yeah? Should be worn on the head. Shoes should be worn on the feet. If you put the cap on the feet, this is zulm. Misplaced, yeah? So shirk is zulmun azim, greatest sin, because you misplace Allah Ta'ala's right. You give Allah's right to somebody else. You either bring Allah down to the creation's level, or you take creation and you exalt them up to Allah's level. This is shirk, zulm. Greatest injustice, greatest violation of rights is the violation of Allah's right, which is shirk. And then he advised him to be good to his parents. So first the right of Allah, then the right of parents. And if they strive against you, if they are non-Muslim and they strive against you to do shirk, then you cannot follow them, but still you remain with them in very good company. You are still very good to them. But who do you follow? وَاتَّبِعْ سَبِيلَ مَنْ أَنَابَ إِلَيْهِ. You follow people who turn to me, meaning you turn to Allah. You follow people who will guide you to Allah, because you have to come back to me. And then he's telling the son that Allah Ta'ala, he is fully aware of everything. Even if take any small particle, yeah, of any dust. Imagine this, yeah. Imagine you're flying on a plane and you drop, just fantasy, yeah. You drop your ring. Okay, imagine you drop your ring from the plane and it falls into the ocean. Okay, and can you find the ring now? Let's say you can trace it. Let's say it's got a tracker in it, and you trace it. They're saying in the depth of the ocean. But then, do you have the means to extract it? No. Okay, not easy, yeah. So Allah Ta'ala is saying, if any aspect of anything in His creation, He is fully aware of it, exactly where it is, and He can extract it anywhere from any time. Yeah, this is His absolute knowledge. And then He commands him after Iman in Allah and His knowledge. Now He's giving him the Islam. Okay, Aqimis Salat, and then He's telling him Amal Salih, and then He's telling him Tawasaw bil Haqq and Tawasaw bil Sabr. Amar bil Ma'ruf wa Nha anil Munkar. Tell people what is right, tell them what is wrong, meaning do Tawasaw bil Haqq. And Wasbir ala ma asabak, and then whatever falls upon you, whatever confronts you, because you will be confronted, people won't like being told what's right and wrong, then you have to remain steadfast. And this is a great resolve. And do not turn your cheek toward people in contempt, meaning do not be arrogant. Allah Ta'ala doesn't like that. And in your lifestyle and in your walk, be moderate, okay? And do not raise your voice, and do not be loud like the braying of a donkey. So Allah Ta'ala, He has told us, Luqman gave this advice, yes, to his son. And this is exactly what this Quran is saying. And this is the voice of your fitrah. Okay, moving on. Ayah 28. Regarding the resurrection. مَا خَلْقُكُمْ وَلَا بَعْثُكُمْ إِلَّا كَنَفْسٍ وَاحِدَةٍ. The creation of you, all the creation, and the resurrection of all the creation, for Allah it is as easy as creating one of you. For Him is nothing. Inna Allah Samiyun Basir, He hears and sees everything. So don't deny the hereafter. And then in Fitra again mentioned, أَلَمْ تَرَ أَنَّ الْفُلْكَ تَجْرِي فِي الْبَحْرِ بِنِعْمَةِ اللَّهِ لِيُرِيَكُم مِّنْ آيَاتِهِ إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَةً لِكُلِّ صَبَّارٍ شَكُورٍ وَإِذَا غَشِيَهُم مَوْجٌ كَالظُّلَلِ دَعْوُا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. Yeah, when the waves, they come over them like huge waves, they turn to Allah and they only ask Him. مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ means that they become sincere in everything. Yes, everything. فَلَمَّا نَجَّاهُمْ مِنَ الْبَرِّ فَمِنْهُمْ مُقْتَصِدٌ. But some of them, after they are saved, they become muqtasid. There's a few tafasir for that, no time to go into it. وَمَا يَجْهَدُ بِآيَاتِنَا إِلَّا كُلَّ خَطَّارٍ كَفُورٍ. And then Allah Ta'ala is saying, fear the day when you will be on your own. Nothing will save you. Yes. And Allah Ta'ala, He is going to fulfill His promise. His promise is what? That He will give everybody what they deserve. And do not let this life, لا تغرنكم الحياة الدنيا. In the beginning of the surah, Allah Ta'ala mentions that this dunya is lahu wa law. Okay? And lahu al-hadith. And do not let the chief deceiver, shaitan, deceive you. And then the 5 things that only Allah knows of. Inna Allah indahu ilmu sa'a. Only Allah has the knowledge of the hour. And only Allah knows the rain, when it falls, how much, and what is the effect of that rain, good or bad. And only He knows what is in the wombs, in terms of not only the gender, but in terms of the the lifespan, the rizq, and whether this person will be good or bad. And only Allah knows what you will do tomorrow, and only Allah knows where you will die. He is aware of everything. He is subtle in His knowledge of everything. Surah Sajda. Surah Sajda. This is also, all of these surahs, they were revealed before the Hijrah to Habasha. And Surah Sajda, we know that the Prophet ﷺ, he would recite this and one other surah, I can't remember, in the Fajr of Jum'ah. I'm not sure if it's Surah Insan. In the Fajr of Jum'ah. And there is also a hadith to say that this is to be recited at night before sleeping. Surah Sajda. Khair. Here also, let's look at the central theme. Reflect on the Quranic proofs and believe in Allah and the Akhirah. Akhirah is mentioned here again. Liqa is another key word in here. Liqa, meaning meeting Allah. The consequence of the mu'min and the fasiq will differ. Yes, your fitrah says good and bad are not the same. O Muslims, you remain steadfast and patient in this hardship, and you will eventually be successful. So let's look at the proofs in our own creation. Allah Ta'ala mentions in here, in Surah Sajda, Allah mentions in ayat 7 to 10, He is the best of creators. بَدَأَ خَلْقَ الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ طِينٍ, created you from clay. ثُمَّ جَعَلَ نَسْلَهُ مِنْ سُلَالَةٍ مِنْ مَاءٍ مَهِينٍ ثُمَّ سَوَّاهُ وَنَفَخَ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِهِ. So He created your body, but then He put inside you ruh, spirit. And then وَجَعَلَ لَكُمُ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ وَالْأَفْئِدَةَ. He gave you the ability to hear, see, and feel, think, process, but very few people give this gratitude. And then when it is said, they say, when we are lost, meaning in the soil, fil ard, أَإِنَّا لَفِي خَلْقٍ جَدِيدٍ, will be created again. بَلْ هُمْ بِلِقَاءِ رَبِّهِمْ كَافِرُونَ. They are actually denying the fact that they will meet with Allah. And then Allah Ta'ala mentions to them, أَفَمَنْ كَانَ مُؤْمِنًا كَمَنْ كَانَ فَاسِقًا. Meaning, if you think that there's no hereafter, then there's no such thing as good and bad. Yes, there's no such thing as good and bad, because there's no outcome. So are you saying that the true good believers are the same as the wrongdoers? لا يستوون. You say they're not the same. أما الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فلهم جنات المأوى نزلا بما كانوا يعملون. The good doers will get this. وأما الذين فسقوا فمأواهم النار كلما أرادوا أن يخرجوا منها أعيدوا فيها وقيل لهم ذوقوا عذاب النار الذي كنتم به تكذبون. They will be told to continue to taste the punishment of the hellfire although they will try to escape. وَلَنُذِيقَنَّهُم مِّنَ الْعَذَابِ الْأَدْنَى دُونَ الْعَذَابِ الْأَكْبَرِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْجِعُونَ. And subhanAllah, look at this. This is very, very pertinent to our situation, that Allah Ta'ala, He surely lets us humans taste a small punishment before the big punishment. Why? لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْجِعُونَ. And this is the same thing that we mentioned in the Surah Ar-Rum, the fasad. Only Allah allows it so that people would turn back to Him. So we should turn back to Allah Ta'ala. And then the last, let's take the last ayat of this surah from 28. قُلْ يَوْمَ الْفَتْحِ لَا يَنْفُعُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا إِيمَانَهُمْ وَهُمْ لَا وَلَا هُمْ يُنْذَرُونَ. Tell them it will be of no benefit to them if they believe in the end. When the time is too late, it will be of no point for them. فَأَعْرِضْ عَنْهُمْ. So now you turn away from them and you wait, and they are also waiting for the outcome. You have done your job of conveying the message and showing them all the signs in history, signs in their own creation, signs in the creation around them, and the signs in their fitrah. And now you wait for the outcome. Surah Al-Ahzab we will take inshallah tomorrow. So study Surah Al-Ahzab, and can you please do this as a task? Study the Surah Al-Ahzab with this in mind, yeah? What in mind? That what does Allah expect from us if we believe in Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? Study Surah Al-Ahzab, keeping in mind what does Allah expect from the believers in Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So this surah is not about the signs of the Risala, rather it is the expectations from people who claim to believe in Rasulullah Alayhi Salatu Wasalam. So with that, inshallah, we end that.